base being nuked, and it's over for this team. They are making quite the push here. Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome to Beyond All Reason 7v7 here. This is a viewer sent in game, so thank you very much to them. If you'd like to send in your own game, you can send it in through the Discord or the email. But yeah, let's get started. I said 7v7. It's definitely an 8v8. I'm just not entirely sure how to count. But yeah, we have a lot of good players here. Not a lot of guys that I've actually seen before. The king of all is a regular, but I think that's actually kind of it. Maybe T-Plash. But either way, yeah, let's get into it. So Flats and Forests is a very interesting map. So wind speed low 4, high of 12. So pretty decent wind speed. Shouldn't be expecting too many solo collectors. I realized that starting solo collectors is actually pretty common, just because it does give you that very good value early on. Very stable value, I mean. And also, the win right now is pretty low. So it makes sense people are starting solo collectors. But yeah, lots of 4 mech starts here. So Srez, Rubber Duck, King of All. I actually think everybody is starting with, 4 mechs decently closest to them. Dervish the Cat maybe only has a 3 mech start here. But either way, very high metal map. So we can see here all these metal nodes are 2.1. I don't believe there are any deviations in this map, but they tend to be on these open flat parts. Now the forest parts do have mexes in them as well, but they're very, very good for energy reclaim. So I'm assuming we're going to be seeing some sort of res bots coming out here to get some energy early on. 3 construction vehicles queued up for Rubber Duck, although he is stalling on energy pretty badly. He only has 2 solar collectors and 4 mexes, so those are kind of not eating up his energy, but only 40 energy isn't really where you want to be right now. Yeah, so I'm assuming we're going to be seeing a lot of vehicles this map. Now the reason that vehicles are so good, well, we'll take a look at this Armada vehicle plant here real quick. Armada vehicles have a light scout vehicle, so it's actually kind of easier to start Armada vehicles than Cortex vehicles. Although Cortex vehicles are by no means bad. We do have a Cortex bot lab back here, but vehicles are just a lot more tanky. And on open ground, they don't get as much of a speed penalty, so we're not going to see. It's not going to be terrible. Vehicles aren't going to be super slow on this map. They will definitely have a speed penalty in comparison to bots here, but nothing drastic. So we have 2 rovers going at it here. The pink rover from Senthos does win and is immediately taken out by another lad over there. So we have a whole 36 metal just sitting on the ground here, guys. Come on, get some res bots out there. But yeah, so early skirmishing early on isn't terribly uncommon. Now the players in the back here, like Silix, I Will Conquer, and then similarly for Ring Blades and maybe Srez and Rubber Duck are kind of, or maybe King of All, are protected by Force. So these will be a little bit disruptive to vehicles. They'll be stopping shots because a lot of vehicles have, actually I think almost all vehicles have projectile shots, as opposed to something like Grunts, which have laser shots, which wouldn't be as badly countered by something like these small little rocks, small little hills here. Yeah, there's also some a little bit of metal reclaim here. Nothing crazy. Nothing that's probably going to be changing the game by any means, but yeah, still important to look out for. Could be worse things there. We have Paul Atreides himself here. Good lord, going Armada, as every man should. A couple blitzes duking it out here. Rover sitting there waiting to get healed up. It's on his last legs, just chilling out on the hill, enjoying the view. Yeah, big 8v8 here with a lot of very skilled players. You can see all like rank 3, rank 4. So it's gonna be exciting to see how this game goes. I'm expecting like lots of nukes, hopefully some air play. Obviously no naval play because there is no water on this map, crazily enough. The Flats and Forest map has no rivers or streams. How do these forests get here? There's no water. Dervish Cat encountering a blitz there, but he's going to take very small amount of damage, easily decimate him there, and going to be building a metal extractor there. Nothing crazy that we're seeing going on here. Actually, Layla is actually getting pretty close to Paul Atreides here, so I'm assuming this is going to be quite a large place in contention here. But for the rest of them, the front line seems to be falling around here. Rubber Duck and Stress actually moving through the forest here with some blitzes, and I Will Conquer trying to head them off with his commander. He also has some grunts here, which are going to do pretty well against blitzes. I'd say blitzes definitely, beat them one-on-one, but when they're kind of tag teaming these guys and D-guns are flying about, well, the blitzes better watch out here. So yeah, and watch out they do. So there's only 2 left. Make that 1, and the other one's going to fall right into a laser tower. not a big deal there. I Will Conquer setting the whole force ablaze with his D-gun as a couple blitzes from Rubber Duck get past the grunts. Although it looks like it's going to be short life for them. They will not be making it to I Will Conquer's base, but it is a close one here. Almost got by. And yeah, if you think I'm gonna say this name, you're crazy. I got tricked once, okay, in a video ages ago. It was like 2 months ago, by something very similar. But I will not be doing so again. So, Leyline Layla doing the usual thing, building a guard tower here to protect against Paul Atreides, and yeah, Paul Atreides making some sentries as well. So both protecting themselves relatively well. We have our Cyan player here with some blitzes going toe to toe against other blitzes from Dervish the Cat. So yeah, we're seeing Armada vehicles a lot. Just because vehicles, if you want to start vehicles, which not all maps are good for it, like if you saw my last video with the content creator clash, starting vehicles there probably wasn't the best idea for me because there's very low metal on that map. I got a pretty bad start there, but starting on a map like this is pretty good with Armada. They do have the scout options, blitzes are very, very strong and very, very fast, and starting, you know, vehicles don't have a lot of very, very fast units, but Armada also has a lot of adaptability with their units. Looks like we did have Silux's vehicle plant go down here. Looks like there's a little raid going on, and even some more blitzes approaching this base camp up here with the construction vehicle, but a couple strong blitzes and a sentry do take them out. Silux rebuilding up at the front lines here. Actually not a bad position, so I Will Conquer also supporting him with a bot lab there. King of All must have done this. He is circling it. He's moving his commander really far out, grabbing these 5 mexes here, which, you know, it's not a bad idea. His blitzes are kind of far away, but he has a rather large force. Cyrus and Rubber Duck continually putting pressure on Silux and I Will Conquer, which means the King of All is actually rather safe here. It could be a lot worse. Now, 420 Apocalypse is also relatively close, degunning some of these blitzes here, but he doesn't really have an army to back him up. So I think the King of All is actually in a pretty safe position, especially with the commander update making commanders, you know, more beefy, slightly more beefy, able to take a little bit more damage there. But yeah, actually blitzes from the King of All getting rather far, so one does split off over here, going to be taking out a mech, pretty smart. 3 do try to make their way down to 420 Apocalypse's base. Not sure if they're going to make it there, but Ceres actually cutting off these stouts here from 420 Apocalypse. So the stouts are definitely slower than blitzes. They do have projectile shots, going to be a little bit slower there, but also a lot more tankier. They are medium tanks. But yeah, so the blitzes from King of all get taken out. Ceres is going to be harassing T-Flash's base here. Sentry almost takes out everybody, but Stout actually clutches up there as the Sentry goes down. But there is a lone blitz here, going to be taken out of mechs. And it's just pretty unfortunate here. For actually this team on the right, they seem to be struggling a little bit. Now Shirker in going to be bolstering the front line with a lot of laser towers. We have Leyline Layla moving in with some thugs here, going to be doing tons of damage to the base. Laser towers getting taken out left and right. Paul Atreides is having to retreat here. I would imagine his entire base here is going to be destroyed, although he does have production in the back too, so it's definitely not the end of the world. But building a vehicle plant up here and then losing it is not a great way to start the game by any means. This blitz is still alive back here, wreaking havoc. Stout was pulled back by T-Flash, going to be taking care of it, but almost, no, he doesn't get another Solar Collector. But yeah, 2 mexes, Solar Collector, Laser Tower, very, very good for him there. Now Silix and I Will Conquer kind of backed into a corner here. The King of All pushing forward with his commander as Rubber Duck is pushing more blitzes forward, as is Stress, and Stouts are being pulled, or regrouped here by 420 Apocalypse, which is actually, yeah, I feel like the Stouts are going to be able to do just fine here. Now, Stouts aren't great against blitzes. Now, they can take a ton of damage from these small projectile shots from the blitzes. However, the Stouts just fire so slowly. Stouts are a lot better when they're in a mix with something that fires a little bit quicker, like blitzes. So when you're dealing with like light health vehicles and stuff like that, or light health bots, it pays to have something that shoots pretty quickly in your army as well. Just a little bit of army composition tips there, I guess. Our Cyan player moving in with some blitzes, going to be taking out some more laser towers here. Dervis the Cat retreating. He does have a much smaller blitz force. We had Paul Atreides move back entirely, and it actually looks like, yeah, build a couple Dragon's Claw there. Going to be doing a lot of damage, but the Thugs and the Grunts could really push in here. Not without taking some losses, and they already are taking losses, but still. We do have Synthos moving forward with Stouts, Blitzes, name of the game here, light vehicle tanks. Now, we do have a Cortex vehicle start, so Incisors here from Shirker in is actually a light vehicle with lasers. Don't see those a lot. T-Flash here, kind of getting assaulted by these Stouts, but I think he might just be able to pull through with the laser towers with his commander. He does have artillery vehicles and Stouts, but actually there's a lot of Stouts here for Angriff 8. and he might just be able to push forward there. Looks like the King of All did lose his commander. Apologies for not covering that yet. He lost him right here. I did not see that. Yeah, they still have a relatively strong army up here, so nothing that can be easily avoided for sure. But yeah, if we're looking at the front line, kind of looks something like this, which is definitely, yeah, there's a breakthrough here for this warm-colored team. The King of All and Rubber Duck and Stress just continually pushing forward with blitzes, just being terribly annoying. And it's just really unfortunate because this right side team, the cool colored team, just isn't building stack defenses or enough of them to really counteract it. And if they do build stack defenses, they are energy stalled. So it's a rough position for them. And looks like the I Will Conquer's base kind of got disrupted as well. But again, they do have these minor bases up here, but the question is whether they will be able to hold them as a medium artillery comes up here for Stress, and a battle taking down, happening down here on the plains. Blitzes, grunts, all kinds of machinations over here. Looks like we did have a commander just detonate over here. I believe that was not Paul Atreides, but Dervish the Cat. And looks like another commander detonating up here. I think that was Ringblade's commander. It was. He looks like he has a lot of reclaim here that he could get. He is winning the fight there. But again, kind of actually the same story. They might have won the fight, but they're losing. They did lose their commander. Our Cyan player here is actually very, very dominant. Has quite a lot of units here. And Dervish the Cat is kind of under pressure. He is ending up splitting his forces here. A couple rovers and light artillery. And the blitz is being microed. It's just not going to be enough. No matter how much you micro those guys, our Cyan player here is just going to wipe the floor with you, unfortunately. A couple blitzes here in the back line, going to be doing some damage, but Laser Tower does end up taking them out. So good on 420 Apocalypse for building some Laser Towers there. Laser Towers on the front line doing well again here. Our poor player here, I don't remember what his name was, Silex, gets taken out there completely, it looks like, almost. Some stuff was shared with him. Actually, a lot of I Will Conquer stuff it looks like was shared, I think. That's what happened there, but he's mostly dead. I don't think he has any production right now. So not great for him. Ringblade's moving forward quite a bit here with some of these brutes. Good medium assault tank, very, very similar to the stout. I'm not actually sure what the stat differences are there, but going to be quite dominant. But Rocketeers are actually great against them because they're so slow. They can't really dodge the rockets that are put out, and rockets are pretty high damage, so those guys are going to be feeling the hurt there. T-Plash actually holding the front line here after being, kind of overwhelmed. He seems to be doing pretty well. Janices are faring very, very well against medium tanks. Obviously, easily destroying light artillery. And light artillery just can't do enough damage to really kill these guys. Now, they will be going down just because they have very, very low health, but still doing quite well. 420 Apocalypse kind of saving this bottom flank over here. And Synthos getting his booty kicked there. We don't say bad words, all right? We say bad words on the channel. Very nice fight. Cyan versus Light Pink. Actually, Centurions are out here. So it looks like we did see the transition to Armada bots, which was pretty interesting from Dervish. Normally you see transition from bots to vehicle plants, but... Oh yeah, no it is. Okay. So I guess he just has those guys left over or something. Maybe they were gifted. Not entirely sure what's going on there. King of All duking it out here with a ton of blitzes from the... from 420. Blitzes and stouts. King of All going to be decisively losing that fight, but stouts just aren't able to catch up with those blitzes. Oh, but they are microed. Oh, I thought they were going all the way down to the base. But maybe they will be eventually. But yeah, continual skirmishing from Rubber Duck, really just taking out a ton of bases here. Silex trying to build back, seems to be doing, getting onto his feet, which is, relatively good. Cool color team up here, kind of rallying actually. Much, much better front line than the South team is facing for sure. And 420 Apocalypse, again, duking out, this time with Stress, and I think his army might just be too damaged, as we also have Rubber Duck moving some blitzes out to support his friend over there. Rubber Duck actually has quite a good economy, stalling on metal a little bit, but, it is an 8v8 on flats and forests, so it is kind of what you expect. And Rubber Duck continually, oh my gosh, yeah, so I Will Conquer just completely wiped out here. Lots of reclaim, though, for him, if he wants to get some res bots out there. And some more blitzes around here. Going to be going all the way to the north. See if they can do some damage there. Where maybe light laser towers aren't protecting bases because they have been facing no skirmishing forces. But we do have Synthos actually moving out here with a lot of these stouts here. 70 of those stouts. Oh, that's map wide. My bad. Yeah, we have like 9. It used to be probably around 12. But Fiends are out here for Layla. So that means they do have an advanced bot lab on the Cortex side, so we're going to have a very, very strong tier 2 here. Fiends, Sheldons, kind of what you're generally going to be seeing. Just Fiends for now, but I'm sure Sheldons will come later. They're a very good player, and they know the meta, which is Sheldons all day long. I Will Conquer basically just taken out here. He has a couple of construction bots, but nothing else is really left for him there, which is quite unfortunate. A big commander detonation here for Angrif 8. I think he might have just been shelled to death and wasn't noticing it because I don't see any units around there. Although they could have been taken out in the blast too. That's always a possibility. But yeah, I'm really not on point with seeing these commanders go down, guys. Very sorry. But Rubber Duck and Stress kind of stalled there. Looks like their armies were pulled back to deal with those stouts, which actually got all the way to King of All's base. Didn't look like he took too much damage there. He does have an advanced vehicle plant that was a little bit damaged, but seems to be rallying from that. So the King of All with Armada, right? Oh, apologies. Yeah, Armada here. Armada vehicles, pretty good. Bulls are quite good. Jaguars are pretty good. Starlights are great for a backline fighter unit that does a ton of damage against heavily armored units. So, all in all, pretty good composition for Armada. I would definitely prefer Cortex here too, even though I am an Armada stan, but just the way it goes. Cortex just tends to be a little bit stronger on the battlefield. In spite of everybody trying to convince me they're not. I don't see a way that Cortex just doesn't win those tier 2, tier 3 fights every time. But again, I'm no master, so you know, it is just my opinion. Paul Atreides with a vehicle blank here and some odd Dragon's Teeth fortifications that will. I don't think they're actually. Can they be bypassed by thugs? Not sure. Quite a lot of light artillery here, going to be shelling the crap out of these thugs, and by that I mean they're going to be missing every shot, as is very typical for them. Firerock's pushing up quite far with this commander, kind of in a dangerous position. Fortunately, Paul Atreides doesn't have anything to collapse back onto him with. He really has no army there, so not a big deal, I guess. Rubber Duck and Stress continuing to be the master of these blitzes here. Absolutely just, yeah, parading them around the map very easily. So laser towers from here, Cure for 420 Apocalypse. Going to be getting quite a decent amount of value in, trying to stop this flood of blitzes, but they simply can't, and more blitzes are on the way all the time. We actually have Bulls out here for Stress, so it looks like he did go tier 2 advanced vehicles. So yeah, Armada vehicles already talked about, but yeah, Bulls are quite a good unit. Basically just a better medium tank. They're very slow, but they can take a lot of, you know, huge beating. Now what you want to do with these guys is actually get smaller units in around them, so they friendly fire, because they do have quite the AoE explosion. So you can actually take out a Bull Force, you know, with relatively good value there, if you are clumping them with some lower tier units here. Medium tanks don't quite get the job done there, unfortunately. I mean, they do this time, but not really the unit that I was discussing. Down to 19% here, 9% and 0%. I Will Conquer, basically out of the game. He has nothing left, unfortunately. Poor guy. That was his last bot lab, and it did go down there. T-Flash quite far up as well. So if we want to redraw our front line, we actually have Ferox moving quite far on this northern flank here. So our front line would look something like this. So a very diagonal line here. 420 looks like he lost holding the front line, and T-Flash's base is suffering a lot of damage. Those laser towers weren't enough anymore, or this beamer here does get taken out. Stouts, Mausers recalled to try to help, you know, take out these blitzes, and they do ward them away. Blitzes are leaving the base, leaving both of these vehicle plants alive, thankfully. Nexus' Soul Collector's taken out, but nothing that T-Flash can't recover from. The problem here will be his front line is suffering now. He doesn't have quite the units up here that he really wants to. And Big Bad Bull over here, going to be doing quite well against him. Thankfully, the King of All doesn't really have an army either to contend with him. And Ferox continuing to do damage up here, just with some pawns, just with, you know, good old Armada bots, also some Hounds, so he does have tier 2 units as well. But nothing crazy here, so chain reaction almost going off here. These wind turbines almost all being destroyed. The spacing here is not, or leaves something to be desired, but not everyone knows about spacing stuff, so can't harsh him too much there. Scion player, ooh, with a nice D-gun there, but he still might be going down here. Lots of stouts and blitzes surrounding him. Doesn't really have the defense, but oh my gosh, those D-guns are incredible. 28 kills for this Armada commander. I'm sure most of those were gotten right at that moment. Ferox still being devastating here. Looks like we are seeing chain reactions for these wind turbines go off, but they are losing units here. They only have a couple of Hounds left, but still enough to do some damage, and a little bit more up here, taking out, you know, whatever this is, Jaguar, and has some construction turrets there. Top is done for. It's feeling pretty bad for the top, but the bottom for this Eastern team, the Cool Colors, is also feeling quite bad. And again, good lord, Rubber Duck really carrying here with these blitzes, these blitz pushes, you know, continually, you know, pushing the back of the T-Flash's base here. Absolutely insane that more side defenses aren't erected. We do have bulls here, 5 bulls from Stress. Go into town against these stouts, and there's, yeah, it's kind of over for him. Unfortunately, Silex's base will just be entirely destroyed here unless he gets some nice D-guns off, but he is energy stalled. Does he have the energy for enough D-guns to take out these bulls? And he's not even getting in range. I don't think that was his plan. Yeah, so going down to less than 50%, 30%, and we will be seeing the Armada Commander going down here. Bye-bye to Silex, and the bulls are just fine, and I'm assuming that's kind of his base gone, but Fearox doing very well. Ring Blades being taken out there. We actually see this Belgian man, I don't know what his name is, sorry, with some Tigers here, as well as some Stouts from the Cyan player, going to be moving quite far into the west by Dervishes, the Cat's base, going to be trying to take out this advanced vehicle plant, most likely, would be the goal, but even if they just take out some wind turbines, take out some construction turrets, something like that, any damage they can do to try to offset the terror that's going on down here is completely necessary. Actually, a decent amount of Tigers getting, you know, showing up down here. So advanced vehicle plant will be falling. Construction vehicle also going down there. Wind turbines being absolutely destroyed. Stress still uncontested here. A lot of his bulls are feeling pretty weak. But I mean, he did so much damage, right? Silex is basically entirely destroyed. Bull does go down there to our Sentry here, who is veteran C3 silver, but yeah, he does go down. Poor guy. Oh my gosh, the Tigers are still wreaking havoc. Nothing has been brought back to deal with this small army here. So yeah, that's the advanced vehicle plant gone. Lots of wind turbines gone. All the mechs is gone. Construction turrets going down as well. So build power also feeling horrible. And it's just the advanced vehicle plant left for Dervish the Cat. I'm assuming that will be able to stay up. Metal storage actually blocked in some shots there. And yeah, absolutely insane. Cyan player with some Stouts here randomly. Yeah, 420 is actually saved. His base is fine, and he has really been the defining player for this southern front for the eastern team, the Cool Colors. He's just been trying his best to protect against Rubber Duck and Stress. In the end, it wasn't enough. Silex and I Will Conquer did go down there, but he tried his best. He did very well, and he allowed this northern front to do quite well against Paul Atreides, Ring Blades, Dervish the Cat, and did I already say Paul Atreides? Yeah, Dervish is feeling quite bad there. His base almost entirely destroyed, but he does manage to res the advanced vehicle plant, so it's not the end of the world for him, but his economy is definitely struggling. Very, very low in energy there, and consequently his metal is also quite low. Not able to run any metal or energy converters, even if he had them on the field there. And our Cyan player continuing to push with some Stouts here, taking out Paul Atreides, or Dervishes the Cat's frontline defense here, which is just some laser tower solar collectors. Looks like the jamming tower is still online. Minus 65 energy, so quite a lot there for Dervish the Cat, but looks like he's not running an energy deficit anymore, so it could be worse for him there. Probably do, yeah, he does uncloak it, which is decently smart. Decently, I mean, it's the best option for him right there. Dervish the Cat actually losing, you know, half of his HP. His army is just sitting static here, which is really rough. Seeing a lot of light artillery just being absolutely brigaded by Stouts. He does decide to cloak here, but I don't know if he's going to have enough energy to do that for very long. He is in quite a large deficit here, trying to cloak, but just taking a ton of Sheldon fire. And yeah, I did predict the Sheldons from Leyline Layla with those tier 2 Cortex bots, but again, not quite able to find the commander, and he's dancing on him, man. Look at this guy go. But yeah, Sheldon's absolutely eviscerating this army. Centurions going down, light artillery vehicles being blown up. And yeah, the commander is still, oh my gosh, the commander's still alive here, down to 24%, but he is feeling fine. Actually, these Sheldons are taking quite a lot of damage here. Starting to go down in these artillery shots, and yeah, Sheldons just can't take a ton of damage. So light artillery doing quite well against them. They might actually lose this fight, and that's a ton of metal on the field for Dervish the Cat there, and quite a big loss for Leyline Layla. We do have 420 Apocalypse struggling to hold off Stress, and Rubber Duck yet again, tail as old as time. Bulls coming down the main line. Bulls trying to be made for a 420, but he just can't make them fast enough. Mauser goes down there. Starlight coming out, which Starline is actually quite a great counter against Bulls, but just one isn't going to be enough, and he's moving it into range, or you know, into the Bulls range, which definitely isn't a great move because it can't take a lot of damage. Waste a shot there and a low health bull, and it does go down, unfortunately. So yeah, again, bulls from Rubber Duck, and 420 might just be done here. T-Flash also suffering from some bulls from the King of All. Tigers here from Shiker in, trying to save his friend here, but I don't think it's going to work out for him. We also have Angriff 8 with a decent army here. Bulls, Mausers, definitely nothing to scoff at. It's honestly just destruction all around. I think the east side, the cool colors, might be feeling the worst of it. 420's base just being entirely destroyed here in all of its explosive glory. Yeah, tier 2 metal extractors going down, advanced soul collectors, and all that's left is this lone sentry, which will be going down as well after this fusion reactor does blow up. And that's the big explosion we've all been waiting for. But Layla and Fyrox and our Cyan player here and Shirker all seem to be doing relatively well. So they could pull back from this. It is a 4v4 because it's Stress, Rubber Duck, Angriff, and the King of All kind of. And the King of All is actually feeling kind of bad back here too. Very, very bad economy. Not very, very bad. That's definitely an exaggeration. Not the best economy in the world. So it might actually be kind of a W for these cool side players. We'll just see how far these bulls from Rubber Duck get, because if they take Shirker's base out, it might just be over. This advanced fusion reactor blows, it's going to feel really, really bad. Tigers are collapsing on this position. A nice heart here from Synthos, or what appear to be a heart. Making art in Beyond All Reason is a difficult endeavor, to say the least. But yeah, Tigers, can they catch up with these bulls? 71 speed versus 65. They can in theory. Now, Tigers are a much worse tank than bulls are. They can't take as much damage. They definitely don't do as much damage, but bulls are still going down nonetheless because they do have a numbers advantage. Now, unfortunately, these fortification walls are going to be doing nothing, but Wasp's gunships from Layla and Layla actually doing a very great job here, providing flanking defense, or flanking attacks here, as when you have air and ground forces attacking anything, it's always going to be a flanking effect. So like a lot more damage is going to be going, done to those bulls, and they do die. You can see the line of devastation. So yeah, it looks like we do have tier 2 air from Layla and Layla, and he's going to be making some Wasp gunships, which is a pretty good idea, as there seems to be relatively little anti-air on the map. Now they do know that tier 2 air is out, so I'm assuming that anti-air is going to be coming out here for everybody once they did see that, but I don't really see any being built. Angriff 8 and Stress doing their best to protect against these Sheldons from Layla and Layla, which are being microed like crazy, actually, just in the line here. They seem to be pretty good micro. I don't know. Could be a lot worse. Hounds here from Ferox just getting way too close to these bulls here. Looks like the micro here left a little bit to be desired. They're just going to be absolutely torn up. But he's just going to be moving them, marching in a line. Oh, Lord. That's the worst thing to see. It's okay. It happens to all of us, including me. I'm terrible at this game, so we're going to leave that point resting where it lies. Stress's commander all the way out here in the southeast, degunning a bunch of Silex buildings back here that just somehow weren't destroyed. And Silex is producing some medium tanks, going to be trying to defend his base here as he is stalling energy. But yeah, the degun there is going to be quite rough if they do decide to attack that commander. Sheldon's providing a lot of backline fire here as Stouts are taking the brunt of the damage from Mr. Jag, as we like to call him in the biz. But yeah, bulls here from the King of All, kind of just running down that line there, taking out quite a few Sheldons, which just aren't being microed. Stouts are pushing them off the point, but it looks like they might just be trying to go for someone's base, and they do break away from that frontline engagement, but they're moving back to the Sheldons, which I think is a pretty good idea. You can get a lot of value done there, a lot of damage done, but continual eco out here for these Eastern players. Oh my gosh, tons of Stouts down here just sitting here, as well as some Centurions just being torn up by Hornet gunships. I say torn up, they're not going to be doing too much damage, but they're still doing damage and basically uncontested. So yeah, this micro is really, really rough. Looks like they're put on the fight command and then they were attacked by air, which kind of stalled them. Wasn't exactly sure how that worked there, but pretty unfortunate to see, I can't lie. I cannot lie. Wasp gunship, oh my gosh. Took out Stress's commander back there. I think I missed every commander detonations. I'm so sad. As sad does appear, yes. This attack was so bad. It wasn't on purpose, but yeah, the fight command did not work out in our Scion player's favor here. And he's actually being assaulted by these bulls and some anti-air flak vehicles also coming out there from Angriff. So he does know about the tier 2 air. does give you a little warning notification. And we're also seeing some stealth fighters coming out here from Leyline Layla. Seems to be focusing a lot on air, which seems to be a pretty good idea. Working relatively well. Now there is anti-air but built down here, so we have shredders. Actually just shredders, I think. I'm not sure if there's anti-static anti-air, pardon me. And yeah, those Wasp gunships, devastating for them. The fighters are pulled back just outside the range, and I think only one Wasp is left. Yeah, pretty unfortunate end for the Air Force of Layla there, but what are you going to do? Angriff absolutely running through the Cyan player's position here. We're almost, if it wasn't for these brave stouts. So yeah, the Cyan player just really not focusing on the tier 2 here, making a tier 2 constructor, but no units to speak of. He just doesn't have the economy for it. I mean, he is literally, oh my gosh, he's plus so much metal. But he doesn't have tier 2, and the tier 2 is all the way at the front, so this is a very precarious position for this advanced vehicle plane. Not really somewhere you want to build a base, like right outside someone else's that is a lot more built up than yours is, but yeah, I don't know if Cortex Commander just chilling out there, 14 kills. Poor Apocalypse here, he tried his best, but he's getting 2v1 really, really badly. Well, 3v1 in the beginning. And it just wasn't able to save himself. T-Flash in a similar position, just trying to rebuild here. Doing the best he can, trying to get some more energy there, as he is badly energy stalling. There's not a lot of trees left to reclaim, but still something worth reclaiming here. He's actually overflowing metal. Oh no, this is Cyan, sorry. That's my bad. He seems to be doing alright on metal. Definitely needs some more energy though. Where's Paul Atreides? Oh, he's rebuilding in the back here. He's got a few constructor bots and his commander left, so yeah, never give up, never surrender. He's doing as best he can, as is Ringblades here, who has only got a single construction vehicle and a construction turret. Actually seems to be doing pretty well for himself. Got a little economy running there. Not anything great. Nuke out here for Fyrox. Probably just going to be ending the game though, unfortunately. No anti-nuke coming out to counter it. It's right outside the circle there. Oh my gosh. Well, the anti-nuke wasn't built. They built no rockets. And that's, yeah, that's the king of all's nuke there. How do they have nukes? It is 31 minutes in the game. You can get a nuke. Oh gosh. You can get a nuke like 20 minutes in the game. Yeah, Beyond All Reason never changed. It's actually just the internet. Actually just everybody. Which is fair enough. But yeah, I mean, Stress and Rubber Duck could come back. They have a lot. I mean, Starlights here are nothing to want to tangle with. There's Bulls in the front line. Pretty decent army here, but everything's just so far away. I feel like an army could be pulled back pretty quickly there, and it would just be over. We are seeing dragons, the flying fortresses from Leyline Layla, wreaking havoc on Angriff's metal extractors out here, the tier 2 metal extractors. Yeah, doing quite a lot of damage. I mean, there's no anti-air, so they're gonna be fine. Fighters are coming out here, so the dragons are gonna be eventually going down, but they have a lot of health, man. They can take a lot of fighter shots, and looks like we have Leyline Layla with stealth fighters absolutely ripping through these tier 1 fighters here. So no contest. Another nuke coming out from Fyrox here. No anti-nuke has been built, and the anti-nuke that was built was taken out. It did not have any rockets, so that's Angriff's base taken out. As he was building that APHIS, the Advanced Fusion Reactor here. Gonna be coming up in 5 minutes. Pretty sad there. Is there a screamer down here? What did I see? There's a big old rocket. Oh yeah, Mercury. Long range anti-air. Going to be shooting down some of these bombers. But yeah, they are going to get the drop on the base here, I think. Where are they going? They seem to not want to attack, and fighters are going to be taking them out. Oh yeah, okay, so energy converters unfortunately taken out there for Ringblades. He did his best. Rubber Duck's base being nuked, and it's over for the Warm Colors team. They are making quite the push here, or Rubber Duck is, with quite a lot of bulls. Starlight's lagging behind with their very, very slow 42 speed. It's just not enough. Looks like they're going to be redirecting to T-Flash's base, I think. I don't know what the plan is here. If there is a plan. I mean, there's nothing they can do. Like, this is a pretty good army, but look what's being... Like, this is happening right now. Like, it's unfortunately... Well, good lord, I can't speak. It's unfortunately just over. These Gauss cannons actually just being heroes. Taking out so many pawns. Good lord. And Bulls back here, Rattlesnake. I just love Papa Plasma Artillery. The rattlesnakes and the Gauss cannons are just really, really great. But the pawns marching forward as tenacious as ever, and this is just like so much metal just being thrown away. It's insane. And the bulls actually, oh my gosh, they've made it, bro. They made it. Nothing was pulled back. I guess there's just no vision on the enemy here. Like, let's see, can they even see these starlights? Like, what's going on? Okay, player view. Looks like they can't even see the starlights there. So, yeah, really interesting. That was just like the perfect push, able to just take all this out. And so many apocalypses going down for Shirker here. Better launch these nukes, man. You might as well, because they are being destroyed. I wish nuclear facilities just like had a very, very large detonation. If they had rockets in them, I feel like that'd be quite good. Oh my gosh, Bull's going to be taking on an advanced fusion reactor here. This is a huge win for the Western team. Is it enough to save them? That is Shirker's entire base gone. A ton of nukes there. And I was attributing those nukes to Ferox, but I think, well, this one definitely shot a couple times. But there's a lot of nukes down here for Shirker. I don't know how to say that. I'm so sorry. My bad, mate. Pawns continually moving forward here, just doing very, very small amounts of damage to these Gauss cannons, but they're going to overwhelm them eventually, maybe, as we do have some bigger Centurions coming down on the western flank here of Angriff 8, and he is just, oh my, these Gauss cannons are really heroes, man. Fortunately, the rattlesnake did go down there. Yeah, the eco is looking very, very bad for the Western team. They only have 270 metal roundabout compared to like the 550 metal for the Eastern team. But now the Starlights are just going to be backing up, it looks like. I don't know what they're doing here. Anti-air vehicles going to town against those Wasp gunships. Roboduck trying to resurrect his eco, I guess. That's actually a lot of mexes. Seems to be doing quite well. There's just nothing to stop these Starlights either. Aside from some gunships, but then again, you have the anti-air vehicles, so yeah, this is feeling bad for this team up here. They were doing so well, and then yeah, it all came to naught. I don't know what's happening with Ferox's economy here. It seems to be energy stalling. Not sure where he lost all the energy there, or what happened for him to lose it all, or where he even got it all in the first place, because he doesn't have a lot back here. And all these guys are heading down to Roboduck's base. They decided the Gauss cannons are too much, which they were, honestly. I'm going to be destroying some tier 2 mexes here. Quite a big blow to the King of All's economy there, but he doesn't really have anything to use the metal with anyways. Yeah, he's like flooding metal, so not a huge deal right now at least. But yeah, Starlights are moving up to Layla and Layla's base, and there's nothing to counter them. The Wolf's gunships, again, just going to be absolutely shredded by the Shredders. And taking very bad engagements there. Just leave them in the fight, because continually moving them in and out is going to be quite bad because they don't have the range. So, and mobile anti-nuke here, just chilling. He's just chilling. And yeah, Wasp gunships moving in for the last time, it looks like, as they're just absolutely torn apart. Layla and Layla's base slowly taken out by these Starlights. We do have Tigers moving up here from T-Plash and Bulls. So you know, a big hero here. But Layla and Layla being taken out as well. And this is just, oh, this fight is just incredible. So much destruction on both sides. Just like not quite having the vision here to see this attack that took like 4 minutes to get over here. It's an insane game. But yeah, Layla and Layla is knocked out of the game, it seems. So many pawns here from Ferox. 356 on the map, and these are all his pawns too. But will it be enough? Yeah. Starlights are terrible against pawns, just because their attack speed is very, very low. And yeah, Shredder's back here, not gonna be able to do any base damage. So Ferox coming out of that relatively okay. I think this is his Aphis though, and his advanced Biolab's out too. I mean, he's not feeling good either, but I think he's just going to be able to make it out of this just by the hair on his chin. And there's nothing down here to really do any damage anymore. Tons of Jaguars coming in from Angriff. Seems to be about the only army on the field. Actually, for anybody, really. But unfortunately, yeah, our Scion player here, Jag, he's doing so well, is going to be taken out here, it looks like. The Bulls are too much, and air superiority for Ceres has occurred with Layla and Layla's death. Not sure what he's planning to do there. He does have 7 Wasps here. Or not Wasps, Hornets, right? Yeah. But besides that, he doesn't have any air to ground. So, not a huge deal, but yeah. And unfortunately, yeah, these nukes, the anti-nukes are up for this western side, so no more easy kills from the nuke, although the Apocalypse was taken out for Ferox there, so a little bit unfortunate for him there. 420 is building up here. He's trying to rebuild, as is Ring Blades and the King of All, and Paul Atreides. Paul Atreides actually with an advanced vehicle plan. He's done very, very well for himself. Yeah, absolutely insane game. Stress moving up here, taking out Striker's commander here. It is now a 2v2 commander-wise. Not actually sure where any of these commanders are. Rubber Duck's commander down here is the only one I can spot. And T-Plashes, and Ferox. And Paul Atreides. Okay, we got all the commanders. I can see them all. I have eagle eye vision, okay? Jaguar is moving over here for Paul Atreides. Going to be absolutely just going to town on these pawns. I mean, they got a little close here, if we're being real. But still, good counter. Pretty good value there. If the pawns weren't so easily made for Ferox, it would be a bigger win. T-Flash building up a lot of bulls, and these guys need to go in. Maybe they're trying to stop another Rubber Duck attack. But we do actually have... Yeah, I mean, Paul Atreides with the Jaguars here would just be destroyed by these bulls. And yeah, the bulls are coming out. But I think it's too late. They're just too slow. Tons of pings there from Ferox. And yeah, so speed here for these guys is 90 compared to the 65, I think? Yeah, 65 for the bulls. Just not going to be able to catch these Jaguars, although the diagonal path is doing the Jaguars no favors. But they are trying to run away from these pawns. Man, I made a line to cover all blind spots. Well, what happened to your line, bro? No, I'm kidding. Oh, make a line. I understand. Shredder's moving out here for Rubber Duck needlessly, as there's no air factors left for the cool colors. Or I guess just a green team, basically, at this point. It's just Ferox and T-Flash. 420's got a little bit of some. Leyline Layla has some fiends scattered across the map there, but I believe they've probably left the game. I mean, it says they're still in the game, but I don't know what they're doing. Oh my gosh, no, the Hornets here from Stress. Absolutely, oh no, the chain reaction for all these constructors. Ferox's base is feeling the hurt here. And this pawn strategy, I mean, they could have won, I think, if Ferox was making tier 2 stuff. I think that's really, really unfortunate there. 420 being taken out again. Paul Atreides with all the Jags. And, yeah, some gamer moments going on up here in the chat. But I think this is a win for the Western team. They really came back. I thought it was over for them. They had like 3 nukes that took out like 3 players each. And they managed to come back. Sidelight's trying to come back here, but it's not going to be enough. Actually, oh my gosh, so many bulls. So many bulls. I actually might be able to do something down there, but yeah, I think it's just over with the air over here. There's no anti-air being built. The Jags taking out 420 is really rough. Ferox, so many pawns, but for what? So 600, holy cow, 600 pawns. And what's the point here? But this is actually a crazy shot. Absolutely insane shot here of all of these pawns. The mountain of pawns is absolutely wild to me. Yeah, get that clipped, bro. Come on. That is insane. That is insane. Ugh. Yeah, Stress, sorry. Stress doing all they can to take out Ferox here. And it's basically over for him on this side. I mean, he still has the largest economy on his team, I think. Maybe T-Flash has a bigger one. Oh my gosh. But I think that is a resign. Yeah, from the Eastern team. So great game, everybody. Insane comeback for the Western team. And yeah, the pawns weren't enough. But great thumbnail material. Yeah, thanks guys for watching. Hope you did enjoy the show. And make sure to like, subscribe if you do like more content like this. And send in your own games. Yeah, have a great day. Actually, let's look at units produced. Yep, that's what I thought I would see. Insane. Yeah, hope you guys had a great day, or will have a good day. And see y'all later. Adios.